And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Here's the cover.
Guys, we're back to the vid today while we're dealing with the snowstorm here on the East Coast. So, got a couple games in the Soviet Tier 8 tank destroyer, the ISU-152, with its 750 Alpha. It can definitely slap up some tanks. So, first game we got here is on Province. Yeah, that is the map, Province. Which is usually, you know, not the most exciting map in the world. It can a lot of times just turn into a sniping match on either side, especially in a tank destroyer such as this. But we're going to play it a little more aggressively, at least in terms of our initial positions, instead of just sniping from like C7, 8. Since we're solo, I'm not going to trust my team to actually spot stuff, and I just want to progress this game as quickly as possible instead of just relying on teammates to spot. So, equipment on this, I'm running Binos, Camo Net, Rammer, and I believe Vents is my setup. You could make it a little more of an aggressive setup if you want it, to make this more of a trading vehicle. So what I'm saying is, like, if you want to make it an assault TD, it doesn't have the armor for it necessarily, but it does have the alpha if you're able to trade effectively with 750 damage per shot. But I have it more set up as a sneaky TD, which it has pretty good camo in that regard when the camo net's deployed, and you're able to dump in these 750 alpha bombs pretty quietly if you can. Now, we already have an issue for our team here. You can see a lot of our team is just set at like C7, 8, which is pretty typical, especially for lower tier games, even tier 10, but we're in a tier 8 game, top tier. It's another reason I feel okay pushing here, is because I feel like my view range, I won't get spotted quite as easily in most situations. Unfortunately for me, a couple of their light tanks have actually pushed up fairly aggressively, and there's also an IS in a kind of unorthodox position. We do take a shot, but it only tracks us luckily, and we're just going to kind of bide our time either until this IS backs off, which he is right now, and that means we can get up and around this corner unspotted. And we only have the support of 2 heavies right now, which is one is a tier 7 chopper, and then I don't know what the other one is immediately, but we're able to lose the spot here and start progressing to the position that I actually want to get to, which is up around B1, B2. I am keeping in mind that there is still an enemy ELC even 90 roaming around in the middle at this point, and he's probably my #1 priority for this game, just because he's going to be spotting all our tanks up there for the enemy TDs, and you can see the shots going into my friendlies right now, so I'm putting all my attention towards him if I can. There's not really anything immediately that I can shoot right in front of me, so I can at least direct my attention that way for now. And you can see he actually does spot us here. It's because we're moving, and we lose that camo penalty, or yeah, our camo a bit while we're on the move, and we don't have our camo net up. But as soon as that camo net engages, we will lose that detectability. But then we spotted an easy shot into a tier 6 Soviet heavy, a T-150, and we're just going to take about 90% of his hit points in one shot. It is the brutal thing about the ISU. It's not the best platform per se, but that gun at tier 8 having 750 alpha is just, when it hits, it hits. So yeah. The reason I don't know, I've recently bought this back just, I don't know, because I've been enjoying the tier 8 TDs a fair amount actually recently, whether that's Yag Panther 2, Panzerknacker, a lot of them honestly have been pretty enjoyable. Now we're going up to a pretty standard position, get a shot into T3. Nope. What happened there is we actually shot the unspotted CS that was there, and we didn't even damage him either. We just ended up hitting like tracks or something like that, so it's kind of unfortunate. But our second shot definitely did not bounce or dip into the ground as we slapped him for about 759 damage. So while we have shots here, again, I'm still in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got to get a shot into that Vanguard, because I'm looking at the mini-map and nothing's happening. A medium is pressuring him, but that medium's probably going to get taken out by these guys if we just take another shot into the T-34. And here you can see the camo of this tank. These guys are just outside of our detection range on the mini-map, and we were just able to slap them up without ever getting detected, and we're also getting a little bit of assist damage as we're going to hopefully shut down this tier 8 medium as we do. And this is just such a powerful position. It's a close game still, though we are winning in the hit points department. We're only winning by 1 tank, so hopefully we could start wrapping this game up a bit, but I'm all by myself here. I have to play this pretty passively, not be super aggressive. Again, the ISU does not have great armor. You can bounce the odd shot off the gun mantlet, but the upper plate armor, I think, is only like 90 mils, and it's not angled very much. And here I spot an opportunity to maybe get a shot on the ELC even. I take a blind because it looked like he was backing up, but it doesn't come off. So here I'm just hoping that he gets spotted, because if we can take that tank out of the game, I'm very confident that we can win this. But at the moment, nobody else is able to shoot him. And so I'm just waiting for the perfect opportunity to get a shot into him that's going to give me the best chance to take him off the board. Could do right there, but then he decides to stop a bit, and poof, that is the key shot. It takes all their vision off the board, and it means these guys on this side of the flank are pretty blind now, except for the tanks at J9 or so on the enemy team. I know there's a G-SOAR over there, and I believe one other tank. We take a little pot shot, just because at this point I feel like I have enough ammo regardless to finish this game. The ISU only comes with, I believe, 20 rounds of ammo, but that's more than enough for most situations with 750 alpha and a tier 8 TD. And honestly, the 15-second reload that you have on this doesn't, I don't know, in my experience, it doesn't feel like that long. So yeah, my next tank that I would like to take out of this game would be the G-SOAR, just because the autoloader can be super, super dangerous. Granted, it does have a very long reload nowadays. It's like 45 seconds, something crazy. But it can still be a super threat. As you can see, our light tank spotting up that TD. And I kind of spot that on the map here because I'm not getting any shots into that heavy tank. So now I'm going to reposition a bit, be a bit more aggressive, and instead of letting the game kind of progress on its own, I'm going to push the tempo a bit, since I have probably the most hit points left on my team. You can see the enemy team has pulled the hit points back a little bit. It's 19 to 12% now. I spotted an IS-3. I'm hoping for a chancy shot here onto the lower plate. Now, retrospectively, I should have just waited. I didn't know he was going to pull out like that. Unfortunately, it kind of happens. You know, can't predict everything. So, I know I have at least 3 tanks in front of me, an IS-3, a T-34, and I believe a Ferdinand. And then we spot the G-SOAR get lit up. He's 700 HP, and luckily we snap it in, and we also get the correct high roll. Granted, he was only 712 hit points, but with all of the armor angling and advanced hardening nowadays, that's not always a given that you're going to roll for even slightly below average and take out tanks. And just like that, we're still winning on the HP department. We're 2 to 4. And I know 3 of the tanks directly in front of me. We pull over on the Ferdinand. Before he's able to even take a shot into us, we just snap it in. That's the beauty of the scumbag loadout. I don't really have to care about that. Could have aimed it, probably, but I had faith that 290 pen would just pen the Ferdinand pretty much anywhere. Probably it's a little bit chancy, and I could pull back before the T-34 could even react. Now I can see the rubble getting destroyed. I know the IS-3 is progressing here, and we're able to take him out of the game. Definitely the priority target, because he has a faster reload than T-34. I don't mind taking one shot from T-34, but by the time he reloads, I will reload, so I'm just going to keep pressing aggressively here. He could face hug me, sure, that's totally fine. I'm just going to right into his hull and take him out of the game as well. All that's left is a one-shot Barask, and our Carnarvon Action 10 takes him out of the game. And we finish with the victory here on Province. So, pretty solid game. Nothing super crazy, but a very solid result. 6 kills, 4,800 damage, and about 1,800 base XP. So yeah, a solid result in the ISU-152 on Province, and even picked up a little bit of assist damage. Which, Province is a map that's, I say, suits it pretty well. It'd be better if you're in a platoon, probably, because you could actually have your teammates go out and spot for you. So yeah, second game, we are moving on to Pilsen, and you notice we've already got a little bit of damage. We actually shut down another Vanguard early in this game, but I forgot to hit the record button super early. But we're not gonna miss much of the action. You can see we're still just driving out into the 9-0 line on Pilsen. It is the standard spawn setup, and immediately I kind of noticed on this game was that they didn't really send a lot into the field. And the reason we know that is because our light tank was actually spotting, so we have free reign over this entire side of the map, and they've kind of boxed themselves in a little bit. And now this is definitely the position I'd like to stay in, try to back up to get a shot into this Panzerknacker here, let the reticle fully aim, and take off 700 of his hit points. With all the accuracy changes reverting back a few months ago, this gun you definitely want to let fully aim as much as you possibly can here. Because it can definitely miss and be troll. It's definitely like the old ISU, as that one definitely was not troll. It went right in for 800 damage into that tier 8 medium tank. So this bush is obvious, but it's definitely the position I want to take here. We can take out hopefully a couple of these tanks like this 110. Just let the reticle fully aim and slam it into his lower plate for our second kill of the game here. At this point, we can see our team is probably going to lose the 1-2 line. I'm kind of okay with that. It's not ideal to win, but it does mean that we have a chance to have a big result, because they'll have to push up and into our base if they want to win, as long as my team plays it more passively in spots. We take out the Panzerknacker for our third kill of this game, and already putting us up to 2,800 damage. This game was definitely a bit more of a, I don't want to say turkey shoot, but it was definitely more along those lines. We get a really nice shot into the enemy already there. Slim, but, you know, sometimes you pray and it connects. So you got to take those shots. Every shot that you don't take, it doesn't have any chance to hit. So now I kind of see the mini-map, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to reposition here to this little, like, valley in the hillside. It's pretty used position into their heavies, pushing up the CD line. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to definitely push up this way. Newsflash. They're actually not. As you can see, now they're moving back to their base to take out these light tank and mediums on our team that have probably overextended a bit, thinking that they would have our, like, a crossfire or something, but no, our other teammates are either on the hill, like me, and guys in the middle of the warehouse, and those guys, two mediums, kind of got taken out, unfortunately, by a roving, like, death squad of the enemy team, who are just kind of acting as one giant firing line. So at this point, I'm really not doing much here. And then I think it's at this point, I do spot the enemy Vanguard, and we get another Vanguard kill in this video. That's the real reason I wanted to post this, obviously, was just to show that even with a big derpy gun, you can take out those little tiny tanks that are really, really annoying. But, yeah. So here we get a nice little angle created, and we're going to hopefully slam another shell into the T-34-3, and we've already matched our damage total from last game, essentially. We've already up to 4,700 damage with 4 kills, and we are just staying back, being that sneaky sniper. Like, versus last game, we were more progressing the fight a bit and being at the vanguard of the attack, for lack of a better word. But this game, we're more, have stayed back, been that traditional tank destroyer role, and just moving around where our team needs that big alpha gun at, which now is back to our original position we had in this game, in this bush. So try to set up, there's a Tiger 1 Czech variant, and then a Conceiver. My priority is definitely the Conceiver. That is a very, very, very strong tank at tier 8. Could try to go through the cupola on top of that, but that is a very chancy shot at this range. It really would need some good RNG. Instead, I'm going to take the easy shot, hopefully, onto this Tiger 1. Just waiting for binos and or my teammate to spot him. That's all I need to dump a shot in this guy, because I know he sat there. I know he is. I know he's not been shot at yet. And there we go. We dump a 658 alpha bomb into him, and putting us up and over 5,000 damage. Game is even still. We all have a little bit extra hit points, but again, that's probably more so sat with myself back here that's not directly in the line of sight. As we get a nice shot into the conceiver, that's a big damage shot on him and a very, very high priority target. I need this fatherland to stay alive to spot for me. Otherwise, this game could be a little awkward, but I still feel fairly confident because they would have to push into me. And at this point in the game, they're all going to be one-shots, and I have full HP. So I should be able to trade my HP effectively if I need to be that kind of role. Now, could push in here, but then our fatherland takes out the conceiver, which is a great kill. I'm waiting for him to maybe spot the Tiger 1, who could possibly still be there. As our other TD spots the Mill 1, T-34-3 taken out, and just like that, this game is done. The only thing I can do now is I'm hoping to push in and maybe get the kill on the Tiger 1 here. And the only reason I think that's maybe possible is because our heavy tank in front of us is a one-shot, and he's not going to be very keen to die. So I'm just telling him, hey, I'm on my way, I have HP, and I can just take this hit and get this game finished with. So the Tiger 1 hasn't spotted or poked back out to see us coming yet, and he's going to get a very rude awakening. He spots the fatherland, but doesn't poke high enough to spot me. And here comes the Russian Boomstick to finish him off. And hello, good sir. Goodbye. And yeah, that finishes off the game here on Pilsen with nearly 6,400 damage. I believe that was 5 kills. Yep, I can remember that right, and 1,900 base XP. So a pretty solid result in the Tier 8 Soviet TD. There's actually a variant of this on sale right now in the store for like $10. It's the ISU-152K. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace.